A very successful Let's Talk event here in Lawrenceburg. Dozens of people showed up to tell us what's important to them, including one group who saw our commercials and organized a protest to get our attention. They braved the cold outside the Lawrenceburg Library to say they don't want to see large-scale solar farms on what's now farmland near Benning and Weisberg roads.
We're worried. We're worried about the wildlife being affected. We're worried about waterways being affected. We're worried about property values. We're worried about a lot of things.
These folks tell me they saw we wanted to listen and they wanted to talk. How did you think us listening to you can actually help?
Well, you guys obviously have a huge pool in the community.
More than 1,700 people signed a petition against solar farms in Dearborn County early this month, like Dave Sams.
I grew up on the farm. My dad always said, they're not making any more ground, so you need to protect what you got.
This Let's Talk is just the beginning of the story. In the coming days and weeks, we'll be reporting about the many things you told us matter to you here. From the Carroll Cropper Bridge construction, to public transportation, to, yes, solar farms. Because this is your home.
If it's the only place I've ever known, it's beautiful rural farmland.
In Lawrenceburg, I'm Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News. You told us at our latest Let's Talk event here at the Lawrenceburg Library that solar farms were top of mind to you. So I started digging and I found one planned project in the area, spans around 1,200 acres. I talked to the developer and I talked with one farmer who's leasing his land for the project. The signs they carried now dot the region, standing out against the frozen landscape, where I met Casey and Daniel Ruhlman.
We moved out here just for,
Peace and quiet.
peace and quiet in the rural area.
But if a Linnea Energy solar farm becomes reality in this now wholly rural area of Manchester,
As far as we are aware, it's all the way around, and then 120 acres behind this 36 acres, and then behind the neighbor's house over here.
they've got a pair of signs in their yard. The couple is not anti-solar or renewable energy, but it seems like the whole horizon would be solar panels.
All the way around, yes.
I think the biggest worry too is property value.
Now, there are a lot of people in this area who don't want to see this project happen. It wouldn't be possible at all without landowners here leasing their properties.
This is the first one I've been involved with.
This landowner didn't want his face shown, saying his family has already faced harassment over the decision to lease to Linnea. To the folks who don't want to see this happen, what do you say?
I think it comes down to property rights.
He says he'll make more from leasing to a solar developer than leasing the land for farming. And he sees community benefits too. More energy for the grid, and the land could be preserved for farming later.
My understanding, posts going in the ground, the arrays go on it, posts come back out, and the soil built for 30 years.
I also took your concerns to Linnea's development director, Chris Berry.
Solar farms are safe.
He tells me they hear your concerns, even though they haven't begun seeking permits that require public input. Do you promise to really engage with folks along this process, hear them, and make adjustments?
Absolutely, because we're obliged to. The permit process that's established by Dearborn County is not one that's granted by right. It's a special use permit. So we have to work with the community.
Does that give you heart at all? And do you believe that?
I would like to believe that. I hope we can believe that.
Linnea reps tell me that they hope to have their applications in and this process formally started by year's end. They hope to have construction started by 2028 or 2029. In Lawrenceburg, I'm Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News. The Dearborn County Planning Commission meeting that was set for later this month will now be held here at South Dearborn High School. The move is to make room for what is likely to be a large crowd of people asking for solar farms to be put on hold. The recommendation made here at the high school will go directly to county commissioners for consideration the next day, deciding what happens for folks like Casey and Daniel Ruhlman.
It's all the way around.
We talked last week about how a proposed 1,200-acre Linnea Energy development would surround their property, and they want more protection laid out in county ordinances. What more protection would you like to see written into the law here?
Well, we haven't talked to Lineage, so we don't know exactly what they're supposed to be putting in or where they're supposed to, so this is all kind of
Speculation.
speculation.
Is it just one of those where this is so fresh you don't even know what you'd need to know at this point?
I mean, it's a little bit of that.
I think we just want to see protected a little bit.
Like they say, larger buffers between properties and caps on total acreage of a project. The creator of this petition, calling for a moratorium on solar developments, Bobby Ron, tells me that they're not against any particular development, but he's hosting an informational town hall on the 12th in Sunman. Linnea's director, Chris Berry, promised to listen to the community and follow Dearborn County rules to keep people happy.
The ordinance in Dearborn County requires strict vegetation around the periphery to maintain the rural aesthetic of the community.
In a statement issued Tuesday, Berry says he believes that the existing rules take people's concerns into consideration while also protecting the property rights he called a, quote, core tenet of American values that has set us apart from our founding. Linnea reps now tell me that their experts will be hosting a town hall here at the Lawrenceburg Fairgrounds on February 17th. It's going to be here inside of Agner Hall, where they say that they're going to be getting their message directly to the people living in this community. We'll have all this information over at WCPO.com. In Lawrenceburg, I'm Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News. A lot of people do not want to see large-scale solar farms built here in Dearborn County. Others do want to see them built here and are already leasing their land, and at least one developer is actively trying to build one. They all have their arguments, but I wanted to get to the middle. So I found this international report issued just last month. It's got a lot of information from experts about what these solar farms are, the damages they can do, and the benefits they can bring. The primary concern we heard at our Lawrenceburg Let's Talk event.
It's beautiful rural farmland.
They're not making any more ground, so you need to protect what you got.
And while proposed solar farms here would replace what is now cropland, this International Renewable Energy Association report shows that to meet global climate goals, solar would need to consume less than 1% of U.S. agricultural land. And studies have shown that solar farms can improve ground quality. This landowner, who's agreed to lease his Dearborn property to a solar developer, hopes so.
You have 30 years to build topsoil. Nothing's coming off of it. It's getting mowed.
The report says soil quality can be further improved if used as a dual-use plot, bringing in grazing animals like sheep. Linnea Energy's development director told me last month they're working to do that on land near Manchester.
They estimate they would need about 2,000 sheep in order to maintain the site.
As for pollution and environmental impact,
We're worried. We're worried about the wildlife being affected. We're worried about waterways being affected.
the report acknowledges there are disruptions to wildlife habitat and movement if the farms aren't built with them in mind. Most of the negative environmental impacts come from mining for material used in the panels or improper disposal once the sites reach their average 30-year lifespan. Arena urges local governments to implement strict guidelines to ensure minimal impact to neighbors and, quote, early stage, transparent, and meaningful local consultation processes must be established for local communities for the best outcomes to happen. The future of all of these projects will be decided after a series of meetings in the coming weeks. The first is a town hall pushing for a moratorium here at the VFW in Sunman. We have all of this information over at WCPO.com. In Sunman, I'm Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News. There's a real groundswell of activism here in Dearborn County. Hundreds of people are calling for a moratorium on solar farms, and they're organizing at places like the American Legion. It really was standing room only. The parking lot full after cars filed by lines of no solar farm signs. There were even themed cookies for sale.
We love the community. We feel this is a heaven on earth.
Mark Hall is helping lead the call for solar farms to be halted, and he's definitely got backup. When you see your neighbors standing up, what do you think?
I'm proud to be in this community. I mean, these are, like you said, these are my neighbors.
Obviously some emotion there.
Oh yeah, I get emotional when I think about my family and our community. It's special.
Many here simply don't want the rural nature of this county disturbed or lose land to solar developments.
Really, the erasure of any prime farmland, somebody is going to suffer down the line. It's going to be a farmer.
The Dearborn County Planning Commission is meeting on the 23rd, and the County Commission is meeting on the 24th to consider a moratorium on all solar projects for a year. Do you expect that they hear these voices and react accordingly?
Yeah, that would be my expectation.
People here want increased protections for neighbors written into law. A developer considering a 1,200-acre project in Manchester Township, Linnea Energy, says they hear people's concerns and issued a statement saying the existing ordinance addressed those concerns while protecting individual property owners' right to do with their land what they want.
Every solar project developer is going to say we are willing to work with the community If that's the case, why don't they support a moratorium? That's what we want.
But for some, any development is one too many.
I don't think there's anything that they could do that would satisfy our community.
Okay, so before the county meetings at the end of this month, Linnea Energy is hosting their own town hall to talk about all of this next week. We have all of that information over at WCPO.com, and while you're there, I did talk with their development director. You can find that conversation there as well. In Sunman, I'm Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News. The Planning Commission voted to recommend a year-long moratorium on the construction of both data centers and solar projects here in Dearborn County, and people were happy about it. It came after a bit of a shock when a developer who's looking to build here backed the moratorium, at least for a shorter period. Hundreds filed into South Dearborn High, packing the auditorium from one end to the other, not for a popular play, but to address the county's Planning Commission about solar farms.
Whoever in this crowd supports a 12-month moratorium, please stand. Thank you so much.
Many are worried solar farms would fundamentally and forever alter the rural nature of this county. The movement is led by Bobby Round, and he says that the voices in this room are dwarfed by those in the community.
Over 2,000 petitioners support a moratorium.
While the commission says no one has submitted to build a solar farm, there's little question why this is coming to a head. Linnea Energy wants to build a roughly 1,200-acre facility on what is now farmland in Manchester Township. So I asked their development director, when this all started years ago, the consideration of all of this, did you ever expect this much public engagement?
No, not necessarily.
Chris Berry tells me Linnea's other Texas-based properties haven't seen this much pushback, but he doesn't see it as a bad thing.
I'm proud that there is so much civic engagement. I think is what makes our country great. So while I didn't expect it, I'm proud to see it.
Berry told me 2 weeks ago that the existing ordinances are sufficient to protect people living nearby and respect the rights of property owners. But he's not opposed to changes. So he backed a short moratorium to make law changes to include work time limits, regularly updated decommissioning plans, and more. What's your commitment to having that conversation with these folks?
So I think a lot of what I've heard is these companies are just making promises and they're not making any commitments until they've formally committed in writing. And I agree to that. We are making a lot of promises. What we want is the ordinance to demand that accountability of us.
The future of solar farms in Dearborn County has been decided inside of the government center. There will be a hard pause on any development for as much as a year. This is a story I've worked on for a little over a month now, and it began literally right across the street at the Lawrenceburg Library. You organized a protest at our Let's Talk event to make sure you got our attention. So I visited your Manchester Township properties where a Linnea Energy solar farm is proposed.
All the way around.
I talked to the man who leased his land to Linnea. To the folks who don't want to see this happen, what do you say?
I think it comes down to property rights.
I attended your town hall, heard your calls for a moratorium at the Planning Commission, and now?
Motion carries. Okay, you have your moratorium.
Victory for those who want no solar or at least stricter rules governing them, like Bobby Round. You hear the words from Commissioner Thatcher, you've got your moratorium. What goes through you?
Obviously pleased with that decision.
I just see, so many people come together so quick because of the topic. We love our country. We love where we live.
The commission says state law forced them to adopt their current rules in 2021, and with Linnea making plans.
We needed to take a look at our current ordinance and update it because things have changed.
In your mind, is there any specifics that need to be updated, or is this just too early in the process?
It's too early in the process.
Like I said, it gives everybody time to take a breath.
The moratorium lasts up to a year, so I asked Linnea's planning director how they'll work with the county. Do you plan to be an active partner during this part?
We will be.
Chris Berry calls the rules on the books a strong foundation. The moratorium could be lifted by commissioners if they put new rules in place.
We think that it can be done efficiently and quickly, effectively. We want it to be effective because it's obviously going to be potentially 50 years of commitment of what the project's going to be committing to.
What work is ahead for you, for Bobby, and for the other people who've been involved in this looking forward?
We thought this was the tough part. Well, the tough part just started.
The county is asking for public input as they consider these new rules. Even though it wasn't the main concern, today's vote also places a moratorium on data centers here in Dearborn County. In Lawrenceburg, I'm Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News.